Do you have any favorite lines from season 1?
I really love when she goes to heaven and goes, OMG, can you imagine an actual koala?
Can you imagine an actual koala? Ah! See you later.
Oh, what flavor did you get?
Raspberry. It's very good.
That's mixed berry with strawberry, blueberry, and raspberry. This is mango passion fruit, bold and tropical.
I'm obsessed. Cheers to us.
We deserve this. Ooh, there's little bits of mango on the bottom.
I definitely have some bits. I've got some seeds down here, so I got to get to the bottom.
It's so sweet. It's so tropical.
Yeah, but it doesn't taste like, sometimes energy drinks taste icky.
Like artificially, this doesn't.
This tastes like fruit. Somebody like hand crinkled those little berries into it for me.
I picture a little old grandma picking it off the tree right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably in like Calabasas.
Grandma coffee bean and tea leaf.
Yeah, you're familiar.
I love her. She's so sweet.
I can't believe that you live here in LA now.
I also can't believe it. Live is a generous term. We're like living out of boxes in an apartment that is in LA, but we are here.
Was this a work move or just life?
It was a life move. Here's the thing. It was a work move because I felt like I was finally at a place where I was like, you know what? I think I can leave New York and theater, and if they need me or if it's something I really want to do, they'll come find me. I used to feel like if I wasn't in New York every single day that it would like charge ahead without me. And so part of it was feeling settled and like my foot was squarely in the door in New York, and then wanting a lifestyle change. Like I grew up in Northern California. I love it here so much. We're obviously in Southern California right now. You're like, does she know? But I've always felt like
I grew up in Monterey. It's right here.
It's right there. You're like, has she seen a map? Is she aware? But I'm so happy to be here.
I feel like it's only going to help with auditions and being here in Hollywood.
Well, like this morning, even like, this is also why I was an hour early for our podcast. I had a recording session at 9 a.m. in Burbank for another animation project. And then it took me 15 minutes and I got in the car and came over here and I just went, wait, this is such a special day. I think people feel like, I think there's a rumor going around that LA is like quiet or dead, or that you can't really form a community here if you didn't move here at 21. But I have not felt that way. I have felt totally welcomed. I really love that I have little pockets everywhere. I love going to Burbank and like being in the voiceover animation world, and then coming back to Silver Lake where I live and feeling like it's, you know, a different sort of Brooklyn vibe. It's fun.
And then even if you go further down on Ventura, it feels very just suburban.
Which I love. At heart, I'm a basic girly who loves a suburban walk with my dog, which is great. This is a great neighborhood. I'm not going to tell people where you live, but
we drive just to different neighborhoods just to walk.
Yes,
it's the best.
Yes, I love it. It's so nice, and with the dog, it's like there's something so nice about like getting in the car and being like, let's explore this place that we've never been. Where were we walking the other day that was so nice? Oh, well, we finally went to Toluca Lake area, which I hadn't been told about. Like, that's a great secret. Nobody told me about Toluca Lake. I wish I had known. It was so pretty. We walked the dog. It's the best.
It really is.
It really is. I
so
love it here.
You're here in Hollywood now.
I'm here in Hollywood.
4 seasons premiere is coming up.
Yeah.
How does it feel being part of that project?
It feels kind of surreal still. Our friend Blake Roman sent me a text yesterday. He was driving to Century City Mall and was like, oh my gosh, I saw your billboard. So exciting. And I went, I have a billboard? And it's like my face next to Tina Fey's and Coleman Domingo's and Will Forte and Carrie Kenny Silver. And they're all good friends at this point. We've worked 2 seasons together. We're really crossing fingers for a third. And I don't know. I still can't quite believe it because it's a dream job in the sense that I get to work with people that I respect and admire and learn from, who also treat me like an equal. I think that was what I was afraid of walking into it. I'm a generation 1 or 2 below them. And I just thought, oh, they're going to treat me like the kid, or they're going to treat me like somebody who doesn't know what she's doing. And I never felt that way. And yet I also soak up so much from watching them work and learning from them.
Was this your second project now with Tina Fey because Mean Girls?
Yeah, it's actually my third, because in there is a little gem called, I don't know if people know that Tina was the producer on this. She wasn't, she obviously oversaw, but it was called Girls 5 Eva. It was on Peacock. It was starred Sarah Bareilles, Busy Phillips, Renee Elise Goldsberry, Paula Pell, queen. I played a young Paula Pell in a 90s girl group, kind of like Spice Girls-esque. It's insane. It was so much fun. It was right after COVID though. So it was like such a fever dream because everybody was wearing masks the whole time. You had your face shield up. But this was my third Tina Fey project. She's given me everything. She's given me an incredible career, a husband, some of my best friends. Like she literally found a man on the street and said, "And this shall be your husband."
Thank you, Tina Fey.
Thank you, Tina Fey. But I really am. I'm so grateful to her. And Tina is one of the most hardworking, humble people. She doesn't like a big fuss made over her. I try to come up with different ways to thank her for all this opportunity. And after this long working with her, I just go, the best thing you can do is continue to do a good job and not be an asshole. Those are like her two things. If you can do that, be on time, not be an asshole, and continue to do a good job and respect her work and the people that she's hired to work on something that she cares about, you get to keep showing up. So I hope that trend continues.
Real quick, guys, I want to give a shout out to the coffee bean and tea leaf. If you're looking for a really refreshing way to stay energized, something a little lighter, sweet, and delicious, you're going to want to hear this. This spring, they introduced their cold brew energy teas, and what really sets it apart is how they're made. Each one starts with their signature Ceylon tea, slow steeped over 5 hours for a super smooth, balanced flavor. Then it's lightly sweetened and infused with real fruit pieces. You taste it at the bottom, you get your straw, you mix it around, you get that texture and real fruit in every single sip. The energy is clean and steady. It's powered by green tea extract and vitamin B12. It's got around 120 milligrams of caffeine in a regular and around 160 milligrams in a large. There's 3 flavors to choose from: the mango passion fruit, which is bold and tropical. I see the little bits of mango sprinkled throughout. The mixed berry, which has strawberry, blueberry, and raspberry, and the pineapple yuzu, which is bright, citrusy, and super refreshing. Personally, I would go with the pineapple. I'm a pineapple guy all day, but the mixed berry is a close number 2. The mango passion fruit, you just have to try. So whether you need an afternoon pick-me-up or something refreshing on the go, a road trip, a park day, these are really a solid choice. All energy teas will be available through the summer. Just head to your nearest coffee bean and tea leaf and grab your favorites while you can. Did working with Tina Fey on Mean Girls and the other projects have anything to do with your audition in 4 Seasons?
You know, I'm sure in some way, because I think our casting team, it's Sherry Thomas and Sharon Bialy. I hope I pronounced that right. Double check that for me. They get a lot of tapes, and everybody was taping for this role of Ginny in the 4 Seasons. And I just sent a tape in. I filmed it. I was actually out in LA, so I was filming it in an Airbnb with terrible lighting, my husband reading over Zoom. It was a rough tape in the sense of I didn't have my setup, but I got the script and I went, oh, I know who this girl is. We need to ensure that this girl is likable, even though she's coming in as kind of the villain in season 1. And I sent it off. I didn't email Tina. I didn't text her. I didn't say I'm submitting for this because, if the casting directors had decided it wasn't a tape worth watching, I don't know if it would have crossed her desk.
Does that cross your mind? Maybe I should do this, but it's not worth it.
It's a really good question. Back in the day, I think I would have done that. I would have been really eager and said, I just taped for this. Oh my God, I love this project. And I just kind of went, you know what? Let your work speak for itself.
So cool.
I think I've tried to learn that there's a difference between staying in touch and caring about people's life and the people that you've worked with and asking for something when you want it. And though I don't think it would have been interpreted this way, I thought if I email or text, it's going to come off needy, greedy, reaching. And I just said, just calm down. It took me a long time to trust that my work and my reputation might be enough to speak for myself and that I don't need to pull things towards me. And so I sent it off and I waited, and maybe 8 days later, I got a text from Tina that just said, that was a great tape, by the way. That was it. And so I was like, what does that mean? And then I had a callback scheduled 2 weeks later, and I was living with my parents at that moment, not I was just visiting them. So I was in their house in Virginia, and my dad has this habit of blasting the Grateful Dead whenever I have to do an audition. For some reason, I'm like, Dad, I have an audition, so we need to be quiet. Grateful Dead is cranked up. And so I'm in this Zoom call back with Tina and Lang Fisher and Tracy Wickfield, who are our incredible EPs. And I just went, 1 second, my dad is playing Grateful Dead. I have to go downstairs. Told him to turn it off. But yeah, it was a great, sometimes things happen with lots of rounds and lots of auditions and callbacks and chemistry reads. And it's a long, drawn out, monotonous process. And this was a process, a self-tape and a callback and a little interview with the team, but it came together pretty frictionless, if that makes sense. And sometimes I think there are things that are worth the friction, and then sometimes things happen when you just trust and let it fall into place. And this was one of those like magical moments.
What is working on a project with Steve Carrell, Tina Fey, Will Forte? Do you feel the energy as it does? Yeah. It's on Netflix. The 4 seasons.
It's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. So we have season 2 comes out May 28th on Netflix. I'm so excited. Go watch season 1 if you haven't seen it already. Because I don't think this is a spoiler. I mean, it's not if you've seen it. Steve Carell plays my boyfriend in season 1. So that's wild because as a kid who just, or as not a kid, but like a teenager and a college student who was just obsessed with The Office, that was wild. And you kind of have to, I'm sure you've experienced this because you interview people and you work with people all the time where you're like, I've watched you, I know your mannerisms, I feel like I know you. And then you sit down across from them and you go, you kind of forget that. You like forget the thing that they're really well known for because they're not that. And I think like working with Steve Carell in season 1 was this sort of like patting your head, rubbing your stomach thing of like, that's Steve Carell, that's Steve Carell, that's Steve Carell. That's just my castmate. That's just my castmate. That's just my castmate. And eventually this thing went away and he became somebody that I could collaborate with. Like we really cared about how this couple was portrayed because we never wanted it to seem real. Like we really wanted people to believe these two people had fallen in love in order to make what happens at the end of the season, dun, 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 really hit emotionally. But you know, it is still Steve. So like, I will say the first time I met him, I was so excited. And when I'm nervous, I think a lot of people, when they're nervous, they retreat. When I'm nervous, I attack. Some people might call it an attack. And I will never forget. We were just in like the parking lot where all the hair and makeup trailers were set up. And I just beelined for him. I was like, I'm so excited to meet you, blah, 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 blah. Probably overly touchy. And just slowly as the conversation kept going, he just slowly backed away. And that was when I realized like, okay, great. Let me match his energy. He's just here to like do his job. We're going to have a really nice working relationship. And that was what I expected. But by the end, we were good friends and sharing Olivia Rodrigo recommendations. And he is truly like the nicest man in Hollywood, I think.
Him and Tina are such a great pair too. Imagine seeing them work together, bounce off of each other.
Incredible. There's a scene in season 1 where they're just kind of like exchanging barbs and it's sort of jabs and the type of jabs you would do with a best friend who's known you for a really long time. And because it's them and they've worked together and they've known one another and they've circled one another's careers for so long, it just felt like, yes, I know these people are in character, but I really am just watching Tina and Steve have a good time and improv and play together. And they will hate this word. And again, this is why I learned so much from them just by the way they carry themselves. Like, I think they are geniuses. I think they are brilliant. They do not behave that way. They are so hardworking. They have no ego, but they also really believe in their idea. And so I think from both of them, I learned this concept of like, you can have a strong point of view on your character, on the story, but you don't need to be an asshole about how you convey that or communicate it to the director or writers. And every single person on set is worthy of respect. And I've worked in enough environments where that's not the case. This set kind of runs like a machine because people are happy to be there and want to do their best work. And then they want to go home to their lives. And that's like a really beautiful thing to be a part of.
What do you think the fans are going to take away from season 2 of 4 Seasons? Because you guys are back now.
But season 1 of 4 Seasons was based on a movie starring Carol Burnett and Alan Alda. Season 1 of 4 Seasons pretty much follows that blueprint. So season 2 totally diverges from the plan. And part of that is because Steve Carell's character dies. Whoops. Should be like spoiler warning at the end of season 1. And I think what people will take away is like, my favorite thing about the show is the multi-generational friendships and the multi-generational, especially because that's the character I play. The fact that Ginny, the character that I play, can have a friendship with a person who is maybe 2 life chapters ahead of her. And I think there's a misconception that Gen Z or millennials look to Gen Xers or boomers and go like, ugh, you don't know how to deal with your emotions. You don't know how to deal with your feelings. I have it all figured out. I actually think we learn from one another in this season. Certainly on a logistical level, Ginny's never been a mom before, and that's what my character is dealing with in season 2, is like being a mother to a newborn child. And she's surrounded by women who have done that. But I think what they take from her is sort of this reminder of like what it means to like preserve the sort of like wild part of yourself and preserve the part of you that is like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, but if I just keep making choices in the direction of love and what I think might lead to happiness, even if there's risk involved, that things might be okay. And I think there's a beautiful scene in season 2 where Ginny is talking to the role played by Carrie Kenny Silver, Anne. And she's kind of reminding her like, look, I know that you are divorced, that your ex-husband has passed away, your daughter's out of the house, but like you still have that young 20-something, 30-something person inside you. And like you can access her at any time. And I think it takes somebody who is that age saying it and seeing it. And I love what I do because I get to work with people who are different generations from me. And I learn so much from them. But then I also get to see like, yeah, we're all still a 25-year-old person just trying to figure it out on the inside. And that's what I think people will take. I think if you are in your 50s watching the show, it will spark that sort of reminder in you of like, yeah, I still have that. And I think if you're a millennial watching the show, you will totally identify with this journey of, do I know what I'm doing? Let's find out. And I'm really excited for people to see themselves in all the characters.
How do you approach an on-screen role versus a voiceover?
Oh my gosh. This is like, I would love to do like a whole masterclass about this. I think I learned there is so much about voiceover that has informed what I do on camera, which I know people are like, what do you mean? But I got the greatest piece of advice. I had like filmed a pilot in 2022 it was like an ABC pilot. It was so fun and I loved it. And then the strikes happened. So nobody ever saw it. But I remember I called the showrunner of that show. His name is Eddie Quintana. He's incredible. And I said, hey, I booked this Tina Fey show, the 4 seasons. I need some advice. What did you learn from watching me do this pilot? And he basically said, you need more variety in your takes. He was like, you're so consistent because I come from theater. He's like, you know how to nail it every time, but sometimes we'd be in the editing room and we'd go, oh, we need something with a little more flint, or we need something with a little more empathy. And your takes didn't change that much. And so I went, okay, got it. Season 1, I tried to keep that advice in my head. I don't know if I did it. By season 2, I had recorded 3 seasons of Hazbin Hotel. The whole purpose of voiceover is you walk in and you say, for every single line, let me give you an A, B, C take, sometimes an
improv go
off. Yeah. You're just like, let me give you a buffet of options to choose from. In voiceover, for some reason, it's so easy because you're just by yourself, I think. So you're closing your eyes and you're imagining, so you can change your environment and you're listening to your voice and you can hear when your voice starts to sound the same. And so in voiceover, I got so used to doing that. By the time we filmed season 2, I swear I felt a lot more like there's no right way to do this. All I need to do is give our incredible editing team, our incredible post team, as many options as possible. So when they go to cut the episode together, they're like, yeah, we'll take this moment from here and this moment from here. But that never occurred to me coming from theater, because theater is one long continuous take, and you can kind of deviate a little bit based on the nature of live performance, but you're in control of the story. So you get stuck in your take. But in terms of animation, you're in control of the story, so you get stuck in your interpretation often when you're doing 8 shows a week. With animation, I'm not the editor, so I give them as many options as possible. And with TV, I'm not the editor. And when I finally had all this voiceover under my belt, by the time I showed up to season 2 to shoot live for the 4 seasons, I think I understood how to bring what I learned from Hazbin variety onto set. Does that make sense?
100%.
I hope I'm explaining it, but like, I really do. This is why I think the sort of being able to do everything or being curious about everything only informs other stuff. And like now when I auditioned for theater, I used to go in with such a set plan of how I was going to do things. I don't do that anymore. And part of that is because of the freedom of voiceover, and then the freedom of being on set and being like, well, that take was totally different than that take. Hope you use the one that works. And you kind of relinquish control over the final product. And there's so much freedom in that. I used to think that was scary. And now I'm like, that's epic. You mean you know this, when you audition at home and you self-tape and you have to choose what take to send? It's like the worst. And now somebody else does it. And so I feel freedom in just giving them as many options as possible.
What excited you the most about season 3 of Hazbin? Because now you have Charlie Morningstar established.
Yes.
You're used to the character. You know how she thinks.
Yes.
And you have all that experience and freedom of play.
So much more play.
So
much more play.
Where do you take Charlie in season 3?
Oh my goodness. Woo, they take me a lot of places in season 3. I was so excited. This is not a spoiler, but maybe it is. But Viv has always said season 3 is about the Morningstars, the Lilith, Lucifer, Charlie trifecta. And I loved season 3 because, first off, we're all, as you said, a lot more comfortable with our roles. We're more comfortable improving. I don't I trust our writers. I'm never going to change the plot. But I think we all enjoy improving on the show these days because, again, it just gives them an option. But in season 3, I just love that you see Charlie become a little kid again. And you see her, but not in the way that we think of an excitable kid. You see her as kind of this sad girl who just wanted her mom's affection and affirmation and attention. And I think that's such a beautiful color to have gotten to play. I am the youngest of 3 girls. Doing theater was obviously a way to cut through the noise of being the youngest and just get some focus on me. And now it's created a monster. But I really empathized with Charlie in season 3 because you realize that she's doing everything to impress her mom. And she's doing everything, sometimes things that hurt other people, sometimes things that push her friends and her partner away from her, in service of getting the love that she really truly wants and needs the most, which is her mom's. And I'm so excited for people to hear Lilith because she's so good. And yeah, I think that's what I'm most excited for. I think it's an emotional season as opposed to action-packed. I think we've had 2 really action-packed seasons, and this feels like we're getting an emotional backbone to Charlie and an emotional backstory that people have alluded to and wondered about, but now we're seeing it up close.
I know you can't say much about any songs or anything, but I imagine they were fun.
The songs are fun. I think it would be safe to assume if Lilith is present, and Lilith obviously sings, Charlie's probably going to sing with her.
They're a family.
We're a family. We are family. I think it is safe to assume that we would sing together. And Sam Haft and Andrew they love a duet in general because I think it just lets them mix these voices that they have gotten to know so well. But like a female duet is epic always. So I'm excited for people to hear that one.
What are you thinking when you get that text from Sam Haft and you just see a little file come in like, hey, what do you think?
It's crazy. I will still never forget where I was when I heard Happy Day in Hell for the first time, because this was before, we've had a couple leaks in Hazbin world. So this was before now everything is sent via like password encrypted file. And it's literally like breaking into the Bellagio to like access the Hazbin Hotel songs. But back in the day, season 1, it was just a text. It was like, here's the demo, here's the sheet music. Let us know what you think. And I grew up on all the Disney movies and I heard Happy Day in Hell. And I think it was after COVID. Nobody had worked in so long. And I think I cried a little bit because I just went like, I know exactly what to do with this. I've always wanted somebody to write an I Want song like this for me. It was so, I hadn't even met Sam or Andrew yet, but I just knew they had listened to my voice based on what they wrote with the song. It was just so in the pocket of what I do best. And that is such a privilege to like have people writing songs for you is unreal. And I will never get over that. And I still feel so grateful because every time a new song hits, they are playing on a thing that they know about my voice and what I can do. And then they're also throwing me some new challenges of like, we haven't heard Charlie sing this way. Like the song in season 2, this sort of like pop, girly, anyone who finds love in hell, sort of like electro dance. That was different. That was new. That was like way less musical theater than they normally give me. And it was really fun because I think they enjoy pushing all of us.
That's what makes the show so good because it's handcrafted to your abilities, where you've been, where you're going.
Where we're going. And they do such a good job of like, this is not a spoiler, but like Charlie's in season 3 and 4, which we have already, I know. What? Fuck! You're like, they announced in season 5, but they didn't announce season 4. Season 4 is like, I know, can you imagine?
Season 4 is confirmed.
Confirmed. It's so true. When we announced season 5, people were like, what about season 3 and 4? Like, we did announce that. It just like was elsewhere. Season 3 and 4 are such like an emotional turning point for Charlie. The songs are different. Like the song that I sing at the end of season 4 is sort of like a bookend to Happy Day in Hell. Like if you were to play those two songs next to one another, which I can't tell you the title of the season 4 song, but if you were to play those two songs next to one another, my goal would be that you know it's me, but you don't recognize it. That you'd be like, I know that's Erika singing, but this is not the Erika Charlie Morningstar that we know from season 1.
So emotionally more so.
Emotionally more so, vocally, what Andrew and Sam wrote, the texture of it, the tone. I am really trying to push myself to bring forth vocally what they're doing in the story. And that's really, really a cool challenge to do. Because I've never gotten to sing, like, if I think about this, I've never gotten to sing for 4 seasons. Like, I've gotten to be in a Broadway show. The character doesn't change that much in a Broadway show. It's a 2.5-hour story, unless she's aging a ton. But, like, to get to sing songs for a character over the course of 4 seasons means that I get to find all these different colors and tones and sounds for her to make. And I've never experienced that before. Yeah.
Which is such a cool testament to the fans who are letting this happen so that you can figure out who she is in every avenue.
100%. Yeah, literally thank God for our fans, because truly I just go like, oh, if we didn't have them, none of us would get to do this. And they're great. They're also so invested. Like, I'm sure you've heard this. I just learned what the phrase 4-quadrant is. Like a 4-quadrant product is a product that And if sitting in a car, if like your mom, your grandma, and 2 kids are in the back seat, whatever's playing on the radio, all 4 quadrants can get on board with. I think the reason something like Hazbin is so successful is it really kind of started as this one quadrant. It was like, we are going to create something for the animation musical theater. Like, it was a tiny niche.
Because it didn't exist that much, right?
It didn't exist that much. Like, Hazbin kind of broke the mold in the sense of like adult comedy musical, but there was a niche for it. And it went, I love that Viv never deviated from her vision to try and make it more like palatable to more people. And I think that's why it is so successful, because it goes 100% fucking hardcore in the direction of what it is. And I think people see that and respect that. And they come out of the woodwork and find it. And so the fan base is so rabid because they're seeing something that is made so specifically for them. It's not trying to be the thing that like everybody can watch. And I think because of that, a lot of people end up watching it because it feels singular and original.
Being somebody new to the show who would find it in like season 2, 3, or 4 must think it's a gold mine. If you love animation, you love Broadway.
Totally.
Like, this exists?
You're like, what? This is on TV? Our TV?
How come I didn't know about
Somebody
this?
made this? Yeah, I love finding out like what the gateway drug was for people to find Hazbin. For a lot of people, it's like Keith David is a big like gateway drug to Hazbin because people are huge Keith David fans, and then they
see his work.
They see his work. What was the other thing? I mean, obviously the pilot still on YouTube is like massive for people. And then there's like the Broadway girlies who are like, I love Mean Girls. What's this? Whoa, this is different. My favorite is like when I meet like a 14-year-old girl who goes, I played Cady and now I love Hazbin. And I feel like all these weird, horny new thoughts. I'm like, good. Good for you. Welcome.
How did Viv bring you on to Hazbin? And what was your first impression of Charlie Morningstar?
Let's see. It was like 2022 or 2021 maybe. And it had been picked up by A24. And Viv had heard the Mean Girls Broadway cast album. Viv Medrano is obviously a huge Broadway fan. It's why like so many of our cast are Broadway people. She'd heard the cast album and was like, oh, that girl sounds like Charlie Morningstar. In my head, she sounds like Charlie Morningstar. And so she asked me to audition just the script. I didn't have to sing because there was like a whole cast album that had my voice on it. So she was like, you've done enough. We know you can sing. And that was it. I just did in a like tiny thing, and then I got the offer. And so I didn't meet anybody until the day I recorded.
No Zoom calls, no anything.
No, which in hindsight is wild, but I think it's only wild now because it's become such a massive thing. I think at the time I thought this will be a couple weeks of work. Like you don't. I expect nothing in this business, so that I'm always delighted and surprised. Like 4 seasons, season 1 ended, and I was like, this is lovely. I loved working with all of you. I hope we cross paths again. So my thing is always like, expect nothing, so you're surprised when something incredible happens, which is what Hazbin became.
My thing is expect nothing and I'm still disappointed. So that's cool to see the other side.
You're like, oh, there's a positive side to that.
I had no idea.
That's true. It's like sometimes you expect nothing. You're like, okay, well, wait, like I was doing that so that like something might happen.
Oh, something worse happened. How did that unfold?
That is truly me with travel. Sometimes I'm like, my flight's gonna be delayed. It's fine. But then like the flight's delayed, the baggage is lost. Like somehow I get on the wrong plane. It's chaos.
I missed my reservation. Oh, great, cool. Oh, tomorrow's ruined now also.
Tomorrow's exactly. Like, do you ever have those days where you're just like every single thing is going wrong?
Uh-huh.
That happened on our first day in LA when we moved. It was like things didn't arrive on time. The hot water wasn't working. I backed out into the driveway, the gate, because I like have never had a gate before and just wasn't looking, it's just one of those days. But now it's kind of fun. I have this like dent on our car. It was like our brand new car.
It's a first day dent.
First day dent. And literally my husband was like, this is your reminder always of like, slow down. And also like, now you've earned your like first LA stripes. Like you backed into your gate.
I've accepted that I cannot have nice rims in LA. It's just not going to exist.
It's not going to happen.
So I know that when I return the car for the lease, I just have to buy new rims. It's part of it.
And that's just part of the deal. Yeah, this is why we can't have nice things. This is how I feel. When you have a dog, you can't get the white couch. It's okay.
It is what it is.
What What was I talking about? Now I'm
so-
just thinking about I have to show you this den. It's massive.
So Viv did not have a Zoom call with you before you started.
No.
You just go right into it.
We go right in. And the first part, if I were to say there's anything I'd like to redo in Hazbin, it is my first scene. And it's like me reading the book, and it's sort of like the story of hell. And you can just hear, I'm nervous. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't really have the Charlie voice yet. I'm reading it like I'm like, go back and listen to it. It's not good. It's not what I would call great work, but it's kind of cute. I love that it lives on because I can remember so vividly recording that and thinking like, oh my God, there's Richard Horvitz. I'm gonna get fired. Because I just was like, this is the first thing I'm ever doing for them, and I'm not nailing it. And you know,
felt that in the moment?
I felt that in the moment. And honestly, it's a hard thing to do because it's like a narrative monologue with a bunch of details and story plots. It's exposition. It's like hard to make exposition fun.
You're setting it up.
You're setting it up. But you can just hear me like not being confident, I think. And I think nobody will like, I feel like if I were to say that to Viv, she'd be like, no, it's great. So I will say it for myself. It is my least favorite thing I've done on Hazbin. And it was my first thing. And it was because I remember that day just like seeing their faces up on a screen in Burbank while I was recording in New York and just going like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing. Like I've never done this before. And I love watching the show now, and you can like tell everybody is more confident with their characters and with their roles.
Did you know Richard before you got into that booth?
I mean, I knew who he was, but I did not know him. I think it took me until our 6th episode to say anything about Invader Zim or anything about Angry Beavers. Like Angry Beavers is weirdly the thing that I'm like, I was obsessed with this. Yeah, it's the best. I just like love a like really chaotic woodland creature. And that is what, to me, that is one of Richard Horvitz's claims to fame.
One of my favorite shows as well. When he came over, like, I can't believe you're Angry Beavers.
So good. He's so good. He's so good.
What was your first impression when reading the script of Charlie? Did you know how you wanted to do it? How the voice was going to sound, the tones, the mannerisms?
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I think I have benefited from my theater, my voice, just because I'm a theater person, is like pretty expressive. It's really, I didn't know this until I worked in television, because the way a lot of people talk in normal life is just a bit more monotone. People don't have as much, like they'll talk.
Emotion, up and downs.
Oh, up and down. Yeah. They just are sort of like, so this is what happened, and then I did this, and then that happened. And that doesn't mean that they're uninteresting or unenthusiastic. They just, their speech patterns are a bit like flat. Yeah. I like think of like, when you go to a doctor's office and somebody's like heart is going, that's me.
Me too. I feel like I'm all the way. I'm like, there's no emotion in this conversation. What are you guys saying?
What are you saying? Right. Like I'm so expressive. And like sometimes I'm talking to somebody, I'm like, if it was that heart monitor, you'd be dead. Like you are flatlined. And that's like a big thing in television, because when you have a frame that's this big, I mean, you're going to edit this and be like, God, she's intense, because we're this close. But like, I've really had to learn not to mute myself when I'm filming TV, but to be like, oh, the frame is closer. I don't have to do as much. Like a small expression can achieve wonders. A small inflection in my voice can achieve wonders.
You don't have that in voiceover.
You do not have that in voiceover. And so when I got the script for Charlie, I realized like the only thing, and this is so obvious, but it had never occurred to me, like the only thing the animators have to go off of to make this character pop is my voice. So the more musical my voice is, the more gestures I have. I'm super active when I, our sound mixers are always like, be on mic, because I'm like, I'm really active because I want the physicality to show up in my vocal cords and to show up in like the heart monitor of my voice. So when I got it, I knew a lot of people at conventions will be like, oh, you're so much like Charlie. And that is true. I don't change my voice that much. She has higher extremes to her. The thing that is different is like, I'm exhausted at the end of a session for Hazbin Hotel. Like truly exhausted.
Mentally, physically?
Mentally and physically and vocally. Because in a big episode, if I have like 70 lines and we're saying every line probably 3 to 5 times, and a lot of it is like hyperventilating, lots of information, like really high up here and like, ah! Like it's just, my body by the end feels like it needs to be unwound. And that is a thing that I think people picture voiceover like this. Like we're comfy, we're sitting, we're talking to our mic. It's cozy.
Not for Charlie.
Not for Charlie. And I would say not for most people. I think there's a couple characters that the humor is in like the flat line. But I would say for most animation it is a full body experience. And the breath support needed for Charlie, because she has these like long run-on sentences. I warm up for Hazbin more than I would for like a 2-hour Broadway musical, because it's just, you can really get into a deficit. Like you can lose your voice so much more easily because you only have your voice to express things. So you're using it to its limit.
Do any lines come to mind that Charlie was just so fast when you were recording?
Oh my
that you
God.
had to...
I mean, Speed Run to Redemption, the song itself, I like passed out. Like, what is the... I don't even remember all the words. I should pull up the words. But it's one long run-on lyric. And then there's like a moment where I do a Serpentious impression. That song was, I did get that song from Sam and Andrew, and I went, fuck you guys. Like, why are you making me do this? But it's good. She needs to be manic. We need to like see the manicness.
Do you have any favorite lines from season 1?
I really love when she goes to heaven and goes, OMG, can you imagine an actual koala? I love that. I also really like die, motherfuckers. Anytime she drops an F-bomb is really fun for me. What else? What else do I like? My brain is like thinking of lines from season 4. That's the other weird thing is we get asked questions. I have to like filter through my brain what information is out in the world yet.
Because you've lived with season 3 and 4 for so long, and I'm sure you've talked with the other cast.
I am like thinking, my brain is like on season 4 right now because we still have to record 2 more songs for it. Spoiler. And I'm literally like, no, that line's a season 4 line. That's a season 2 line. What is a season 1 line? I don't even remember.
What part of Erika did you bring to Charlie? Like, because every actor is their character. They bring these little nuances and mannerisms.
Yeah. I'm gonna get better at being like, here's what I think I do well. Because I think sometimes if we can actually, and it's not bragging, and I'm like such a like humility is key. But I think when we are able to call out what we do well, we can actually harness it more. And I actually just had an audition for a theatrical thing that is like based on an animation property. And I remember going like, a lot of people are going to go in here and do the cartoon. And I was thinking of Charlie. And I was like, but what I think I do great with Charlie, and what I ended up doing in this audition, because I had learned this from Charlie, was when it's time to drop in and be authentic and be vulnerable, I am not afraid to do it. And I think there's a space for that in everything. And I think there's a space in Charlie that is like wounded and hurt and in need of love. And I, in the booth, will like actually do that and like actually feel not the cartoon version of what it is to need affirmation and love from your parents, but like the real Erika version. And I say that I think that's important for everybody. It's like in a cartoon, in an animation project, in any project that's like a commercial thing, find the humanity, find that one moment of like true humanity in it, because I think that's the thing that makes people care and sets you apart. And I had Charlie in my brain because I just went in for this musical audition. And there was this one line that I was like, I know the way that it's said in the movie. I know the way most people are going to say this. I'm going to let this like break my heart. And I was talking to the person who was reading with me in the audition afterwards. And he was like, nobody did it like that. He was like, that you like actually went there. It may not be right. Like it may not be right for the final product of this thing. But it was so important to me to be like, adult feelings deserve a space in comedy and commercial properties. And I always try and like find that. And I think that's like, not to like tie it all in, not to try and like bring everything together, but like with Four Seasons, it's a comedy. But watching Coleman Domingo one day, he had an emotional scene and he was doing it. It was like, yeah, it's a Tina Fey comedy, but when you're given an actual real life experience with real life emotions, don't shy away from it. And I think that is a superpower and an Erika thing, because I'm very emotional and can like definitely wear my heart on my sleeve, that even when I'm in something as wild and crazy as Hazbin Hotel, that is funny and dropping F-bombs and living in this alternate world, when I have a chance to do something that is just true human vulnerability, to like make space for that to appear.
That's what I think you do so well with Charlie, is that you do bring that emotional depth to her incredible optimism.
Yeah, that's what because like otherwise she's really annoying. And that was a really important thing for me with season 3 was I know I think people had a lot of trouble with her in season 2.
Really?
Really? What Reddit boards are you reading? Yeah, people are like, she's so annoying and like she has no boundaries. And my whole thing with season 2 Charlie was like, let her cook, because you will see in season 3, hopefully, if I did my job correctly, you will hear the hurt and pain in my interpretation and understand that all that hyperactivity that she exemplified in season 2 is like a shield and like a desperate effort to prove herself. And I hope that we uncover that. And I hope I uncovered that with my voice so that you can like actually feel that. Our animators always do an incredible job, but I really hope you can hear it in my voice.
What do you think of all the people who cosplay as Charlie when they come up to you at these conventions?
I love them. There's a photo from my first Level Up, which is like me and like 5 Charlies. And I love that Charlies find Charlies at cons, because they're like, oh, if you're dressed up as Charlie, you're probably
very
like,
similar.
Very similar. And you're probably fun and you want to make friends.
They're the same tribe.
Same tribe, exactly. And I love when Charlies come up with their Vaggie and the Vaggie's like, hi, she made me do this. And you're like, oh my God. There was a couple at a con. I hope they know that if they watch this that I'm talking about them. They were like actually Charlie and Vaggie, because she was so excited and happy to meet me. And she's like, this is my girlfriend. She's my Vaggie. And she was like, hey.
So
she wasn't dressed up, but she was just like, she was just so sweetly there in support of her like loud, bubbly girlfriend. It was so cute.
That's so funny.
I loved them. I think about them all the time. One more sip. My seeds. I have to get to my seeds.
It's really crazy because now the opportunity of Hazbin and Helava can do crossovers.
Yes.
And I feel like who better than Charlie to go over to the Helava boss
I
world?
hope so. I will say it's like nobody has called me about a cross. I know we're doing one. I don't know if I know I will be. Like she has to be. At least this is when I go like, okay, Brandon Rogers, who is Blitz in Helava, has like this thing where he's like, just say that you're in something and then they have to do it. Which I think is like
That's so Brandon.
Kind of Brandon and so brilliant. Apparently, like we had to announce, I think he said, he was like, oh yeah, we're dropping the next Helava trailer at Level Up Con. And then Amazon was like, no, we're not, but fuck, I guess now we have to. So I'm going to try it. I'm in the Hellaverse Crossover episode.
That's going to be crazy.
I know, right?
I heard you and Blitz were doing an entire spinoff.
I know, and I hear we have a duet. It's going to be incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to do that episode is going to be like a teaser, and then the spinoff will be probably like 2032.
I can't believe that they're doing a 24-episode pickup.
Right?
That's so rare these days.
So rare. We're so grateful.
And the full movie.
Oh, yeah, the movie, theatrical release, too.
With Tina Fey.
And Tina Fey is going to voice a character yet to be named.
I hope that just this part gets clipped.
I know.
What?
Do you have to run like a ticker tape beneath me? Like none of these facts have been confirmed.
All lie,
all conjecture, all lies, all lies, all lies. Fake
Possibly
news,
it's not
fake
not
news.
happening, but
it's
it
not
might.
not happening. But that's what I go like. Just say it. Speak it into existence. Speak it into existence with detail.
Were you always into Broadway? Like, was that the main goal when you first started?
Unfortunately, yes, I was always into Broadway.
What got you into it? What was the first play?
The gateway drug. What was it?
Cats.
Oh God, no! Was Cats it for you?
I never really got into Broadway, but I think I did go see it with my camp.
I think it's good. If you're not into Broadway yet, stay away. Because it will hold you in its clutches. Look, I love Broadway so much. I do. I love Broadway so much. I like get sad sometimes because some of my favorite musicals are from this weird era of like the 70s and 80s, like The Secret Garden on Broadway or Sunday in the Park with George. And they're like weird shows that I don't think would be produced right now. That being said, my gateway was Beauty and the Beast.
Oh.
Because like obviously the Disney movie is incredible, but there was a tour that came through San Francisco where I grew up. And it was just magic. Like it was so magical to see a thing that I had like watched on my TV screen come to life in 3D. And like the beauty of like the dance numbers and the costume and the intricacies of the set. Like it was so special. I really do like, I'm a fan of sort of like a stripped down experience, a one set, just voices and actors. But then when you go and see something that is a spectacle, it's unreal. To me, like the most perfect musical that I feel like people, I don't want to say they forget about it because it's done every single year and it's been touring forever and like it will never die. But it really is why musicals exist is Les Mis. It is epic. That show can only to me exist as a musical property. Like there's a movie of it and it's not quite the same. There's both a movie without music and then the movie musical. But the best version to adapt the book is the stage version because it's just like all these bodies on stage singing and like this mass of humanity singing out is, to me, it is like the greatest experience you can have in a theater is something epic like Les Mis.
What is the best film adaptation from a Broadway to
Chicago, hands down, Chicago. And that's weird because Chicago did the opposite. Chicago, oh my God, don't get me started. I love talking. I know I have so much useless information about Broadway. Like you could ask me anything, any Broadway trivia, and I will know it.
What was the most profitable Broadway production?
I believe the most profitable is still Phantom of the Opera.
Over Cats?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Cats was just the longest running one.
But Lion King might have, when the Disneyfication of Broadway happened, grosses for Broadway like totally changed. Because Lion King, like, I think it was Phantom and I think Lion King surpassed it in spades. And I mean, Lion King is still running. Like, Lion King is an institution and it is wild the money that show has made. The best adaptation from stage to screen was Chicago, and Chicago did it differently. Chicago, the musical on Broadway, super bare bones, one set, black chairs, that's it. Chicago, the movie is opulent, and like every time they sing a song, they go into a dream sequence. So there's sequins and mirrors, and Richard Gere surrounded by feathers. So like it's just, that was so smart because they used the movie budget to make it bigger and to be like, okay, if these dream sequences were full dream sequences, we would use everything in our power to make it feel as lush and opulent as possible so that when it's over and the song ends and you snap back to reality, you feel this big like, oh, I missed the song, which is always what you want to feel. You never want the thought of like, okay, this song needs to end. I love it. We love Chicago.
What was your favorite part about bringing Cady to life?
Oh my God, Cady Heron. Okay, so Cady, yes, Mean Girls. Mean Girls is like the stem from which all these things began because Mean Girls is how I met Tina. Mean Girls is what Viv Medrano heard. Like so many things this is why I say to people, I'm like, obviously Mean Girls was an incredible opportunity. If I could tell myself anything about that process, like it would be like, this is not even like this is just the beginning. It's just that do a good job no matter what job you are doing, because you do not know where it's going to lead.
You don't know who's watching.
You don't know who's watching. You don't know who's listening. Like I have gotten jobs in animation because of Hazbin Hotel, because people like it, and obviously I think any actor wants to do their best, but like we are constantly in a state of there's no mountain to climb. I just saw there's this actress Havana Rose Liu. I think that is her name. I hope I pronounce everything correctly. But she just like had an interview and I saw it and I was like, that's so true. Where she was like, being an actor is not like ascending a mountain. It's like snorkeling or scuba diving. You're just like constantly in the water. You're going to go over here for a second and you're going to go over here. And I thought that was such a great example because that's how I feel, because I've done theater, animation, TV, like voiceover, podcast things. Like you don't know what's going to come. So Mean Girls was kind of like the crux from what started that whole exploration, because I really, up until Mean Girls, had only done theater. And I thought that I was only ever going to do theater.
And then Viv comes around.
And Mean Girls was so special because Mean Girls was really special because I got to be, I learned what it was like to be a leader. I always say like the best thing I got out of that was the experience of how to not be a lead, but be a leader, and how like you can set the tone in a cast just by how you show up in the room. Obviously, the show was super successful. I made my best friends on it. It's like done at high schools all over the country now. And I still meet kids at conventions who are like, I'm playing Cady. And it like, that's incredible to me. Like how deep its roots continue to go for a film that came out in 2002. And how much it's like proliferated across the globe with the musical adaptation. But on a personal level, like a micro level, that is just what I got out of it. It was that experience of like, I would walk on stage with Mean Girls at the beginning and go, I'm going to be on the stage for the next 2.5 hours. Like, I don't have a bathroom break. I have a bathroom break at intermission. And other than that, I'm on this stage. And I felt this responsibility because you're doing 8 shows a week that if, I'll let my phone buzz. I felt this responsibility because you're doing 8 shows a week that like, if my energy was down, then everybody else was going to go down. And I just thought like the only way that we can ensure this show stays fresh and fun and exciting is if I give it my 100% every night, then everybody else has to as well. Because if I can do that and lead by example, we will not falter. And our cast was incredible. Like our ensemble was the hardest working group of performers I have ever been privileged to share the stage with. And so I think we informed one another of like, you can go see Broadway shows sometimes and you can tell when it's that 7th show of the week and people just want to leave. I think we really, as a company, decided to not let that happen. And I just loved getting to play with every single person in that show. That's what's so fun about when you play a character like Cady. I got to have scenes with Regina and Janice and Damien and the mathletes. Like, it kind of felt like an Alice in Wonderland thing where every scene I'd be like, oh, I love this scene because I get to do that scene with Carrie Butler, who plays my mom. And then the next scene would happen and I go, oh, I get to do this scene with Gray Henson, who's now my best friend. Like, every scene was just a little morsel of fun that I was getting to have. The way like in Alice in Wonderland, she's just like going from vignette to vignette. And then it would fly by. Like, every night I would start going, oh boy, here we go. And by the time we got to the bow, it was like, where did those 2.5 hours go? It's the best.
Who is the original Cady in Mean Girls?
Lindsay Lohan.
Did you ever meet her?
I never met her.
Has she ever come to see it?
No, she was supposed to come. I think she was like doing her thing in Mykonos at that time. She like started a nightclub.
Was it a hotel?
A hotel with a nightclub.
Yeah.
So she was busy.
Like something crazy.
She was busy. We met, a couple people came, which was super fun. But you know, similar to like, I don't know if I'll feel this way about Hazbin Hotel, but it's like let's see, it had been 15 years since the movie had come out by the time the Broadway production came. And like, those people are still stopped on the street all the time for their performances in Mean Girls. And they've lived whole lives. But the ones who came back, you could tell how happy they were to still be like a part of that legacy. It was an incredible, like, I watched that movie. Like, I would watch that movie getting ready for school when I was in high school, which is like such a weird thing that I did. I would just like turn the movie on and like do my makeup and my hair. And I just go, was I like pumping myself up to like walk into like the jungle of hell that is high school? I don't know, but it was my like playlist in the morning.
What's your favorite quote from Cady in Mean Girls?
I really love, well, here's what I'll say. The quote in the movie is, I have really bad breath in the morning. But what Tina did in the musical, because Tina rewrote the book for the musical, is she's so smart because she was able to write incredible fucking punchlines for the movie and then even better ones for the play so that you didn't feel like you were just watching the movie screen on stage. She was like, I want to surprise people. And so like, and she's so good because she wouldn't try to be more clever. She would actually try to give you an even more obvious thing. So like all the girls are being like, oh, my pores, my nails, my hair, my wrinkles. And then they all look at Cady and she just goes in the musical, me too, I'm ugly too. Like so simple and like always got a huge laugh. A, because it's funny and simple, and B, because it was so surprising. Everybody thought she was going to say I have really bad breath in the morning. And instead she was like, yeah, me too, I'm ugly too. Because like, all that she's thinking in her head is like, oh, the game is that we just say we're ugly. And I don't even know what being ugly in America means. So I'll just say this. Like, it's writing jokes, and writing a Tina Fey joke is what I've learned is like, as you can tell, because I have been talking so much, I'm overly verbose. It takes me like 5 sentences to say what I could say in one. If I've learned anything from Tina, the acuity and economy of language is her superpower. She can tell a joke with the least amount of words, and she can do it with like the precision of an arrow going 150 miles per hour. She is just like in the pocket, and I admire that so much. When I text her, I always have a first draft, and then I go back and delete like 40 of the words because I'm like, it's too many words, Erika. She doesn't need all these words.
Should we call her?
Let's call her. Okay, wait, I was so panicked. I was so panicked because, wait, let me pull up I was panicked because the other day I got a call from our producer on the 4 Seasons and from Tina at the same time. And I was like, oh my God, we're either getting a season 3 or I'm fired.
I'm cut out of season 2.
I was like, yeah, exactly. I was like, or like they've released me from season 2. And so I texted the producer back and he was like, oh, it's nothing. It's about the premiere. Call me later. And then I texted Tina. I said, hey, I'm driving. Like, I'll pull over, because I was like, if I'm getting fired, I need to be pulled over for this. And then I got a text.
That's even a thought in your mind.
I know. But that's what I'm saying. I was like, I expect the worst. I expect nothing, and I expect the worst. And then it was neither of those things. I pulled over and was about to call, and then I got a text. She's like, oh, sorry, it was a butt dial. And I was like, oh,
from Tina Fey.
From Tina. But I was like, Tina, you can't butt dial me because I think it means the worst. Because she's not one to just call randomly. So I was like, it's bad news.
If you were butt dialed by Tina Fey, that means you were probably in her favorites.
You think?
You have to be. Otherwise, how's she getting all the way down to E?
Wait, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, you're probably in the favorites. Like Steve, you, Will.
Her children are definitely 1 and 2.
Yeah, they're probably 1 and 2. And then like the CEO of Netflix. And then
Ted.
You're definitely like
Teddy
the top
boy.
6.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that. I'm going to ask her that when I see her and be like, was I a butt dial because I'm in your favorites?
Like,
And then she'll be like, absolutely not.
Did you rewatch any of the original Mean Girls movie of what you want to bring from Lindsay Lohan's performance to the Broadway play?
Okay, I'm going to answer this on every front because everything I've done always has been based on existing property. So like Mean Girls was based on a movie, Hazbin Hotel pilot, voiced by Jill Harris and Elsie Lovelock. Yes, Elsie Lovelock. And then 4 Seasons was based on a movie. So like 3 massive projects I've been a part of based on existing IP, existing properties. I have a rule, which is I go and watch it once and then I forget about it. So like, here's the thing. Mean Girls was so embedded in my DNA because I had watched it so many times. It was kind of hard to get Lindsay Lohan out of my mind, but the difference between movie to stage is so vast. Like what Lindsay Lohan did in the movie would just not have read on stage. I'm singing. It's like a totally different thing when you like are just randomly like, and I'm singing. So, which is the first song in Mean Girls the musical, and now I'm singing. So it like wasn't hard to get that out of my brain because it's such a different art form. The naturalism of the Mean Girls movie. And I think there was a lot of great naturalistic comedy in Mean Girls, but then there was also big, broad musical comedy and big, broad musical feelings and songs and dances. So that was the case for that. And then with Hazbin, I went and watched the pilot once to like just get a sense for energy, to be like, how big can she get? How small can she get? And Jill and Elsie, I think, did like such a beautiful job of giving me sort of like parameters to play within and then also to expand out of as the story grew and I grew more comfortable with the character. And then for 4 seasons, the movie is of a different time. You know,
When did it come out?
19, oh God. I want to say the 70s, but that can't be right. Was Carol Burnett?
But it was a couple decades ago.
It was a couple decades ago. Yeah, it's 70s or early 80s. I should know this, but a couple decades ago. So it's a very different, the things they're dealing with, the things they're talking about, the references they make are totally different.
Probably older model cell phones.
Exactly. Not even cell phones. Exactly. Older model cell phones. They just have a dial-up tone in the background of the entire, exactly. And that was like helpful to watch it. And the performances in that movie are so good. And it was helpful to watch. And then I forgot about it. And it was kind of nice too. There was a moment in season 1 of 4 seasons where I was like really doubting what I was doing. And I was about to try and go find the movie because I was like, let me just see how she did it. And I'll just like copy her. And the movie had been taken off of Amazon. And so I couldn't find it. And it was kind of like my first moment of,
sink or swim.
Sink or swim,
You'll
baby.
figure this out.
You'll figure it out. Like, like you can't go back to anything. So that was when that rule started. Yeah.
Let's say they called you for season 5 right now to record tomorrow. You got your lines for Charlie.
Oh my God.
It's incredible. You already know it. Do you go back and listen to season 1, 2, 3, or 4 to see how Charlie was? Or is she already ingrained in your brain? You already know.
I do know. They play me some like, they'll play sometimes some like lines from the last season to get me in the vibe. What I will say is the lines help me. Like the way Charlie talks, her speech patterns are, the way our writers write Charlie helps me get into character. Somebody I was just working with, like, and this is for like any writers, it was such a good idea. It's such a simple piece of advice. And I think our writers do a great job of it. He was like, if on reading the page, I took the name away from above the line.
From who the character is.
From who the character is. And you can't tell based on the line who is saying it, that's a bad script. And
Who said that? Was that Adam?
No, it was not one of our writers. It was actually, I'm going to shout him out. It was, his name is Mark Lawrence. He wrote Miss Congeniality.
What a great line.
It's great. And I'll never forget it. We were working on something. His daughter is like Mark Lawrence, shout out to you. He's like the fucking coolest. Great screenwriter.
Come on the podcast. Let's talk Miss Congeniality.
He's incredible. And he said this to me and I was like, that just blew my mind. That alone could save people a whole year of screenwriting class of like, if you cannot tell, this is why The Office was so successful or Parks and Rec. If you cannot tell who is saying the line on the page, if you like blot out their character name, it's a bad script. And so that is why for Hazbin, I don't really need it because they write the lines the way Charlie would say them. It's all part of it. It's all there. What was I saying? Isn't that such a great piece of advice though for writers? Like,
that's insane.
And it also just made me be like, oh, that's a great piece of advice for actors of like, you never want to take on the cadence too much of the person you're with because
Then you're the same guy on
You're the
screen.
same
You want to
thing.
separate it.
Yeah, that's why, like, again, this is why voiceover is so helpful for screen and stage, because I think it's easy to take on what your scene partner's doing, because especially if you're like an empathetic, open person, you're like, yeah, let me take on your energy, but you don't want to do that. Like, you want the friction and the difference and the dissonance between two characters to be alive, not the sameness.
You're an Office stan. I'm an Office stan. Let's take Steve Carell out of it, but you are Steve Carell's girlfriend in the 4 seasons.
Yes.
Who is your favorite character in The Office?
And I can't choose Steve.
You cannot pick Michael Scott.
Okay.
Any of the seasons, whether they were in one episode, they had a little
Oh my God. I mean,
storyline.
I have such a soft spot for Andy Bernard.
Really?
I know, because he's a theater person. Like,
Big Tuna.
I know, Big
He's not
Tuna.
Big Tuna, but-
He's not Big Tuna, but he calls Big Tuna, Big Tuna, Big Tuna.
The Nard Dog.
The Nard Dog is, I was like, wait, what does he call himself? The Nard Dog. I just like, I loved him because I saw a lot of myself in like his sort of, you know, when I'm uncomfortable, I'm like, I'm not uncomfortable. We're going to be besties. And people are like, this is a lot of energy. So like, I am that person, that sort of sweet awkwardness of like wanting to be friends and maybe being overly familiar is like totally a thing I do. And that he also, you know, was in like an a cappella group, which I was in an a cappella group. And then there's that incredible Sweeney Todd episode. And just the way, like the line where Aaron, oh, I love Aaron too, but where Aaron's like, who wrote this? Did you write this? And he goes, no, who did? Steven Sondheim. It's like so... And if you're a theater kid and you know who Steven Sondheim is, you're like, the delivery of that is so good. Yeah, so the Nard Dog really was one of my favorites.
I always loved Kevin Malone.
Love Kevin.
And obviously Jim. He was just such a good anchor for the show.
He really was. The two of them are like, I think, one of the best relationships ever portrayed on screen. Jim and Pam. Mm-hmm. Like, again, like I came to Parks and Rec late in life. Like I didn't watch it when it was coming out. And so like Leslie and Ben, I think are incredible. And I think they get compared to to Jim. I always say Pim and Jam when I say Jim and Pam. I don't know why I switch it off. Jim and Pam are incredible, as are Leslie and Ben. But like if I had to choose one to be raised by,
Jim and
Pam.
Who was their kid in the show?
What is it? Oh yeah, what is her kid
Nina?
saying? That is like a late season. Yeah. Nina? Oh, Nina.
Was it Nina?
I think it was Nina.
Something like that.
Yeah. I remember because I was like, it wasn't the name I would have thought.
Yeah.
it was a name. Like Jim and Pam are names and their kid's name was a name. I was like, oh wow.
When you're at conventions, is there anyone who you've just been sitting in the back room with? You're like, oh my God, I can't believe you're there. I love that show.
Giancarlo Esposito is at cons sometimes. And I just, you know, he's known for many things, but like his performance in Breaking Bad is like one of the best TV performances ever. Like literally ever.
Have you talked to him?
Yeah, I did that thing where I was overly familiar and it didn't go well. But again, not because he was rude. It was just like, we're in the back room. Everybody's tired. He's like, I don't want to like shoot the shit with you. I don't know you. And I totally respect that. So I went up and I was like, oh man, like he just did a show with my friend Molly called The Residents on Netflix. And she told me he was just wonderful to work with. And so I like went up and was like, this is going to be my like thing I share with him. Like, we love Molly. And I was like, oh my God, my friend Molly just worked with you. She loves you. And he's like, she's very good. And I just went, cool. Have a great day. Who else? Gina Davis, because I like love. I like, there was a moment, it was like in the back room where we were signing merch for people who were like overseas. And she was there signing A League of Their Own headshots. And then there was a baseball and somebody like threw the baseball at her and she caught it. And I was like, what just happened? And I was, history. Gina Davis just caught A League of Their Own baseball in front of my eyes. It was really special. That was cool. That was a cool one.
Can we fire through some fan questions?
Yeah, I love it.
If anybody wants to leave some fan questions, all you have to do is subscribe and then go on to the community tab and leave some questions for whoever's coming up next. Oh, this is a deep one.
Deep. I love it. Let's go deep.
What are your top 5 favorite Broadway shows?
Oh, that's not that deep. In the Heights, The Secret Garden, Les Mis. Oh, it's like my letterboxed. Okay. In the Heights, Secret Garden, Les Mis. Once. and Joseph in the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
What's your dream musical theater role?
It's funny. I've said this before. I really want them to do A League of Their Own as a musical and play Kit, who's Gina Davis's younger sister. I might be aging out of that though. I don't know.
Implications of voice acting in a booth solo versus with cast members. Have you done any with Hazbin?
We've done some with Hazbin. Implications of doing it with is, this is so gross. You can't fart because there are people there. And like, honestly, you fart a lot doing voiceover. You're moving around, you're jumping, your body is like loose. Like it just happens. I'm recording a new animation show right now that I can like barely tease on this, but I'm so excited for it. And
Can you say what it's on? Is it on your IMDb?
It's not on my IMDb, so you can't see it. I was like, it literally has not been announced. We have jackets, but it hasn't been announced.
But you have the jacket.
We have the jackets. And this morning I saw animatics for one of the locked episodes. So it's like happening. It was really cool. But we just recorded with the cast for one of like the final episodes. And I literally was like, okay. I was like, I'm going to be really close proximity to everybody. So I will not be eating this before. I was like, I really think about this. Yeah. So that's the implication.
I'd love to hear, we talked all about 4 seasons.
Okay.
What do you think are some similarities between Lilith and Charlie?
Oh, oof. For better or for worse, they will, in pursuit of what they think is the best thing, they will hurt some people along the way.
What was the most challenging part of voice acting you did as Charlie?
Those monologues. She doesn't breathe. There's no space to breathe.
Do you break those up when you're recording?
I try and do them. The thing is like...
You try and do them all in one
all
breath?
in one, because that's what the goal is. The goal is to like have it sound like she's about to pass out at the end. And so it's like, you can't do that if you're like, well, let's take like part A and then let's breathe and then do part B. It's like, no, bitch, like do the whole thing in one breath. That's the hardest part. It's hard. Like you don't realize I also get out of shape. Like if I haven't recorded or sung for a while and I go into the voice booth, I can tell I'm out of shape because I can't do that. And so like I have to go back to like breath work and voice work and all that jazz.
When Sam came by, he was saying how he would write to your mannerisms and
yes, he does.
The Erika-isms.
He does like my growl. He knows my growl, which is like the big song that's in season 4 is like in service of that growl noise that he likes.
What is the growl?
It's like there's a moment of it in Hazbin Guarantee, right? Yeah, where it's like, I'm checking in. It's like this thing. But now... Do you
just naturally do that every now and then?
It's like what I'm trying to be like
Giancarlo.
Yeah, exactly. But now what we're doing is like, whereas it's like a cute affectation sometimes in season 1 and season 2, in season 4, Charlie, it's like, okay, but like, what if the growl was the whole song? Like, what if that's like an extended tone? So that's... I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull it off. We still have yet to record that song, but that's my goal, is to like... take that thing we've seen like touches of and put it into a full song.
What was your favorite season 2 song? Not that you're on.
Not mine. I love Losing Streak because like I love a standalone song. It's like the theater girly in me. I love a song that you don't need scenes in between to understand what the song is about. You know, I think Hazbin, because we're trying to get a lot of plot, we have to interrupt songs with scenes a lot, which is why like there's not like, I wish we did sometimes like radio edits of our songs. Losing Streak is a radio edit song. It just is a clear beginning, middle, and end, no scene. Great vocal moment for Blake. Like it's a perfect song.
If you could bring anyone from Broadway to Hazbin, who would it be?
Oh my gosh. I really want to bring Bernadette Peters. Like I think she has such a specific voice in general. Her voice, like she's literally like, we do not belong together. Like, that's what she sounds like. Can you imagine if that was an animation character? She must have done voiceover at this point. I don't know.
Anything you can give about Charlie's season 3 arc?
I feel like we touched on this, but it's like everything is related to Lilith. Everything she does is like, are you watching, Mom? Are you watching? Are you watching? Are you watching? And you have to find out to see if Mom is watching.
What did you think about Alistair's plan to trick Vox with her favor to Alistair in season 2?
Alistair is such a tricky character to me because sometimes I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? You are just stirring shit up for the sake of stirring shit up. But I do believe Charlie and Alistair, and I think we get more information about this in later seasons. They have like a bond of trust because he has been there for her when nobody else has. There really is this sort of like fatherly protection that I think she's like, I don't get what you're doing sometimes or why you're doing it, but I have to believe it's for good reasons.
What kind of flowers do you associate with Charlie? What kind of flower would she be?
Oh my God.
That's a cool question.
That is a cool question. There's like these daisies that are like, God, I forget, but they have like a black center. So it's like, this might be a little bit of a spoiler. It's like I have to find, I don't know what they're called, but it's like the beautiful, like white, joyful little petals. And then, but like the thing that they extend from is this like fuzzy, rich, dark velvet black. Cool.
Are there any Easter eggs of Charlie that you know of?
Ooh. I mean, I always love, the reason I say the black center is like anytime you see photos of her with her family, there's a couple photos of her as like a goth kid, a goth teen, and I love that. I really want a bottle episode.
Can you explain what a bottle episode is?
A bottle episode is an episode that doesn't really have to do with the overarching plot of the entire season, right? But a bottle episode is like a contained story within itself. So the story that happens in the first scene will be wrapped up by the final scene of the episode. And then we'll never really talk about it again. But it gives you a ton of information about the character. So I would love, actually, let's do this again. Let's just manifest it. So in season 5 or in the spinoff, there's a bottle episode of Charlie's goth phase. Have fun with that, Viv. Viv is going to be like, God damn it. But I want it. And I want her to like really be like goth emo. Like because that's why she's with Vaggie. Because like a part of her is that like dark black center. Like she has that in her. And I want to see her live that on the outside as well.
What was your reaction when you first saw Charlie? Like a physical, like a pop? When you got to hold her.
I mean, the pops are wild to me. My favorite thing that I've ever seen, my favorite art of Charlie is a hand-drawn thing that Viv did. And like, I don't know if you're a Disney fan like I am, but like I had to go to the Disney studios in Burbank once, and I got to like see some of the old animation desks, like the desks where the animators drew. And like, I cried because like, I think we forget that somebody is like drawing these, and that when Viv first drew these characters, she did it with pencils, like on a piece of paper.
Just a kid.
Just a kid.
Kid in a dream.
Kid in a dream. Literally kid in a dream. And so like, and I know this, like, I understood that from like being a Disney fan and like watching all the behind the scenes of how they animated things and being like, whoa, look at them. But I will say a lot of those animators were men. A lot of them were men. And getting my first piece of art of Charlie hand-drawn was from Vivienne Medrano was like surreal, because I was like, this is a woman, I'll like cry talking about it. I was like, this is a woman who was like closer to my age, who drew this character in her bedroom and has now created this like whole universe that I get to be the princess of. And like seeing her brush strokes, it is the only piece of Hazbin art that I have on my wall. I get a lot of great art and I save it and it's filed away. The only piece of Hazbin art that I have on my wall, because I don't think anything will top it, is this drawing that Viv did for me. That's crazy. It's really special. And I'll really like cool. Cherish it forever. Yeah.
Who is your favorite Disney princess?
Belle. I was a Belle girl.
The dress, the mannerisms, the songs?
The books. The books. She loves books. And I'm like, I'm a super social person, but like I would rather be home with a book like on any given day. And just like that I loved that she wasn't really a princess. That she was like Ariel was the daughter of a king. Jasmine was royalty. Like I liked that Belle was just like a girl who read. Because that's kind of what I was.
If you could step into any Disney project, it would be Belle.
I would love to do Tangled.
Were they doing a live action of that?
They're doing a live action. I'm not doing that. If there's like a universe where some Tangled Broadway show happens, I'd love to do that. Because similarly, just a girl. Like, I think I relate less to the princess part of Disney princess and more to the be the heroine of your own story. Like, when I think of it, it's so funny. We say Disney princess, and I'm like, I never actually liked any of the princesses. Like, the people I identified with were the people who were just normal girls before they were princesses. That's why Belle was so special to me. That's why Rapunzel is like special to me, because she doesn't even know she's a princess. Like, in her mind, she's just a girl living in that tower. Like, she has no idea that she has this royal crown overhead. That's why I like her. Yeah.
This has been so awesome talking to you.
This was so much fun. Oh my God, we talked about Broadway. We talked about all my favorite things. I love it.
Thank you for coming by.
Thank you for having me.
Enjoy Los Angeles and
Thanks.
living here now.
It's the best. I really do love it. I'm so excited. I'm going to drive home.
It's going to be crazy.
Can you believe it?
Do you like having a car now?
I love it. Are you kidding me? It's like my personal snack wagon.
Right. I forgot you from California originally.
Yeah, I'm from California, but like I literally call my car my snack wagon because I just have like so many snacks in the glove seat. Like, you can't eat snacks on the subway. It's rude. And when people do, I judge them.
I
But
picture you having sour straws.
I have sour straws, Swedish fish, trail mix.
Yeah, you're a gummy girl.
Gummy girls. Well, you can't have chocolate in the car because it melts.
It'll get all over the seat.
It's got to be something that doesn't melt. Oh my God, I can't wait. I'm going to go stuff my face with Swedish fish after this.
Trader Joe's has really good sour belts now.
Oh, I know.
Oh, you do?
Do you know about the Scandinavian swimmers? We got to get Scandinavian swimmers. Scandinavian
Are
swimmers.
those the larger round
Yeah,
ones?
they sell them at the checkout. They get you every time.
Oh, at Trader Joe's?
Yes, at Trader Joe's.
Ah.
Yes.
Okay.
I did just discover the candy at IKEA, though, because we're buying furniture, and the IKEA candy is very good.
I can't go in there because it's a maze, and then you're there for at least an hour, and who knows if you're going to get out.
You don't get out. It's so funny. My husband loves IKEA, and he had such a good time. I was like, well, let me give it a try. Hour and a half, and I was like, I hate this place. Get me out of here.
Yeah, you just get lost, and then before you know it, you're just going to live there.
Exactly. And I'm like, I don't even know what I need at this point. You've shown me like 30 different bedrooms. How do I know? IKEA, you're too much. You're too much.
Get out of here.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming. Cool. That was so great.
That was so fun. Oh my God, we got to talk about so many things.